Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So, tonight, Aquarius, we have the Magician. Maybe one of my favorite cards. I was going to say it was my favorite card. It's not. It's almost there. I won't tell you all my favorite cards, but the Four of Discs is usually my favorite card. But the Magician is very close, right? This is the architect of one's world, right? This is a world builder. This is when you get to the point where you start to understand life, the universe, the patterns. You might not know exactly what's going on, but you start to realize how to, manipulate different aspects of your life, variables, conditions, circumstances, and to be able to bring over these abstract things, these things that exist within the unconscious, bringing them into the interior landscape, and then, right, being able to implement into the physical world. Okay, so this is a very powerful energy, right? And the other thing about the Magician is this is one who is learned, who is knowing in the many different sectors of being. We think of like the Hierophant, right? This is somebody who has ascended and mastered their spirituality, their belief system, their religion. They are very, devoted and profoundly loyal to the divine. Okay. The Magician is definitely has their foot, toe, arm, whatever, dipped into that pond, but also many other aspects of life, which you must be if you're going to create something from the ground up. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to see what the tea leaves have to say. We always have to knock because it's polite. That's what I have to believe. We knock because it's polite. I don't know why people actually do it. I have adopted it from traditional tea leaf reading. But I do feel like it has something to do with opening the ceremony, right? And doing that in a way that is thoughtful. All right, so I want to go ahead and say thank you for deciding to click on this reading. It is always such a great joy for me. It is also a privilege, right? A huge privilege to be able to do these readings, to be able to have this time with you. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Stay a while. And we're going to get started. So immediately I'm looking up here. We have the number 670. Okay. Now we also have the letter P right here. And immediately I think, okay, so there's maybe somebody hanging around. There's maybe somebody within the story that has a first name, maybe a last name that starts with a P. And that does feel important. It does. Now, we're going to keep turning this thing. And we have here a person. You can see the head here. You can see the body. It looks like a robe or a dress. They also have, this is a symbol that I myself personally have used quite a bit in my own magical practices. I'm not exactly sure what the meaning is in a greater collective sense, but for me, and I am the one doing the reading, so we're gonna go off of my relationship with symbols. For me, this has to do with one of the most interior iterations of the divine, right? What does that mean? So if you're somebody that has like, you know, a large pantheon of gods and goddesses and many other, you know, intelligences and things, this would be one of the most elevated, right? The more important deities. Now, if this is, we're looking at this maybe in a Jungian sense, this maybe is one of the archetypes or intelligences that you relate to the most. So you are continually engaging with this archetype, okay? So whatever that is for you, and I'm guessing it's the magician since we have the magician, right? This is something that, and if you can think of like a Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or any kind of thing where you're wearing, you know, like patches or you like there's embroidery or maybe it's like a t-shirt that has a symbol on it or a band or whatever, something that you really care about. I feel like this is something that you let be known, right? You are not super private about your path, about your possibly affiliations to a religion, a spirituality, a system. You know, this might be that you are dedicated to making artwork or, you know, literature or, you know, whatever it is. But I do feel like you are somebody who, you're very open. You're very open about your experiences. You're very open about, you know, the things that you have witnessed, the things that you have engaged with. And to me, that probably means that people are drawn to you, people who are interested in similar things. I feel like that maybe you are even kind of a, you know, some kind of an authority in whatever thing that you partake in. And so maybe this is like, you know, like myself, right? I have this channel. My name is Lenor. You know, a lot of people miss that part at the beginning. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you call me. As long as it's not mean, right? But the channel's called Ula, right? And a lot of people, they think, oh, that must be her name. It's not, though, right? This is a name. This is a symbol. This is something that represents a feminine archetype / intelligence / like, you know, goddess energy that is related to divination for me personally. Okay. And so I wonder if you are somebody similar to myself where you are doing some kind of work or maybe some kind of art, or maybe this is also like you have a company, you've named it after one of your personal deities or, you know, whatever it is. But I do feel like you're very out about it. Okay. And so people are drawn into you. Right? They want to know what you know. They want to be taught. They want to be led. They want to be helped out. Deciphering, figuring things out. Right? And I don't know if you are somebody who does divination, or maybe you're like a life coach, or maybe, you know, like I said, you're making artwork and people see it and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, I've never seen anybody talk about or have some kind of expression of this energy that I have experienced. I can't believe it. I'm actually thinking of, there was this series of encounters I had. I was in my mid-20s. I was in my mid-20s and I was having visitations. There were 3 entities. They would show up a lot throughout, maybe like, I don't know, there was like 3 months, right? During the summer, it was very hot. And I would go lay down on my bed in this little apartment I had in Minneapolis. And I would turn on the air conditioner and I would, you know, close the blinds, and it was really dark in there, and try to cool off. And one of the entities had these horns that were very particular. There wasn't like our, the common, like on each side of the head and, this kind of thing. These ones were almost like antennas, and they were in the middle of this being's head, right? And I remember being very like taken aback by that. Like, I've never seen this before. Well, anyways, fast forward years later, this is something I've written about. This is something that, these encounters, I received a lot of information through these encounters and so on. I would say it was a very successful operation. Okay, so fast forward years later, I'm looking through some artwork and I see this picture of Poseidon. Okay, now I'm not hugely into sea deities. I never had really spent a lot of time with Poseidon. I never really, had meditated too much. That energy was not really very active in my life. I don't know. I never really thought too much about it. But guess what? This dude in this particular, rendition of him in this painting, and now I'm thinking, was it a painting or a sculpture? But I think it was a painting. And he had these exact same horns right in the middle of his head. And they were kind of like curled a little bit. And I thought, what the heck? And of course, then I had to go research the artists and, all this stuff. I went down a long rabbit hole, okay? Because the universe was talking to me, right? And I felt that very clearly. It stopped me in my tracks, actually. And so I feel, all of this is to say, right? I feel that you are somebody that, not just one person, but I think that there has been quite a few people in your life who have encountered you and they're just so drawn to you. It's like they have to tell you. They go out of their way. Whatever it is about you, whatever thing that you're doing, whoever you are representing or whatever you're representing, you're drawing people in. Now, as an Aquarius, I don't know that you love that, but I don't think that you are totally bothered by it, right? I don't think this is something that, you're not like a Cancer where you're just like, okay, stay away from me. But I feel like this is a very powerful aspect of your being, right? And this leads me to believe, and I'm looking over here, it leads me to believe that you might end up with some kind of following. Now, I don't know what for exactly, but I'm sure it has to do with this energy. Now, we also have the word night, N-I-T-E. Okay, so night. And we also have the letters I-F. I-F. But I feel like, and I literally have never said this in a reading before, but I feel like if you were a person that had the intention to get well known, to get on, right? to get a little bit famous, you would be able to. You have that thing. Whatever that thing is, you have it. And so if you are living a life that doesn't feel right, if you are not putting your energies into this place where you do draw people in, if you have not monetized that part of your being, I know that sounds awful, icky capitalist, right? Well, we all live in this hellscape, don't we? If you haven't figured out a way to kind of make a living doing this, then I feel like you probably are constantly going in circles, feeling like you don't know what you're doing with your life. You don't necessarily feel fully engaged. You haven't locked in. You're going through the motions. You probably do pretty well, you know, enough that you're paying the bills and you're able to, you know, take care of yours and all that. But I don't feel like you are in that place where you can look at the work you're doing, the way that you're living, the way that you have lived, the way that you will live, and thinking, this is it, man. I am on the peak, right? The summit of that holy mountain. I am doing my thing. I am absolutely that magician. I am creating the world that I want to live in. I'm creating the resources I need to do all the things. I've found a way to spend my hours and I don't hate it, right? You actually are excited to get up and to work and to see, like, what am I going to do today? Where is this going to go for me? And I feel like you are just so very close to being able to live that way, if you aren't already. Okay? And it has so much to do with this thing that draws people in, whatever that is about you. Now, I wonder if you have worried, like, how am I going to even make money with this? Right? Like, say you're somebody who makes, you know, I don't know, music, right? And of course, there's a lot of people making music. I don't know how many people are actually making money with it. But I feel like you're one of those rare people that if you are able to create something, if you are, you know, good at something and you've thought about starting the business, you've thought about doing that hustle, you know, and you haven't yet, that's why. That's why you feel so uncomfortable in your own life. You got to get on it. You have to lean into what you know is your strength. I don't care what it is. If you're really good at, like, washing cars, you know, if you're really good at, you know, cooking or, you know, I don't know, you know, making content or whatever it is. And you've been afraid to take that step. Now, I'm not saying, please, let me be very clear here. Don't quit your day job. Do not quit your day job. However you're making money, stick with it. Do this thing on the side until you can see it start to pick up, okay? But it will be worth the extra work. I promise you. I promise you. Now we have repeating Z's. 2 Z's, an A. We have the name M-O-E, Mo, maybe. I'm glad I just saw that because it just reminded me the new season of Mo is out on Netflix. I'm not getting paid to say that, but I just remembered. I forgot to write it on my list of to watch things. I love that dude. I don't know what the actor's name is, but I think he's a director, actor, and a writer. He was also on another show called Rami. That was on Hulu, I think. But the Mo, there's a new show called, or a new season of Mo out. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. I'm all about that. I like comedy. I do. Okay. So M-O-E, double Z's, whoo, almost dropped it. 27, we have the number 27. Now, let's go over here and look. I've been looking at this for a while. We have the number 31. 27, 31. Heart. It looks like somebody praying. I almost wonder if you have somebody like auntie, mom, grandma, somebody Always on your case about finding somebody to, you know, a companion, a spouse, a significant other. Heck, you might even be married to somebody for like, you're deep in that marriage and they're still like, I wish you would meet somebody else, you know? But I feel like, especially we're coming up on that Valentine's Day energy here in the United States than it is. Although, I don't know. The world is so bizarro land right now. It's so absurd. I feel like most people are just trying to survive. Like, nobody's like forcing anybody to go out on dates or try to find anybody. At least I haven't witnessed that. I think most people are just worried about how much eggs cost. I went to go do my shopping today and I was like, I'm going back to bed. I don't even know what's going on. It was $17 for 18 eggs. Not like good eggs, just regular store eggs. And I don't know what world I'm living in, honestly. I don't know. So, but I do feel like there is an energy of at least like maybe being, you know, kind of reminded that you maybe should meet somebody, but, you know, maybe in the more extreme, they're trying to set you up, right? Trying to get you to meet somebody. Now, we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. 3 lucky numbers. Number 90. Number 90. Now, what's the next one going to be? Number 85. 90, 85, and 60. 90, 85, and 60. And then we're going to end this thing with our self-care affirmation cards. And I'm just going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. And we're going to see celestial embrace. I am made of stardust. I am connected to the energy of the universe. The same light that shines from the stars shines through me. I am held in a celestial embrace. My life is sacred. I am held in a celestial embrace. My life is sacred. Absolutely. You know, when things are hard, when I'm feeling, I don't know. So I have social anxiety, general anxiety, all kinds of stuff, right? CPTSD and ADHD and you know, whatever. I'm on the spectrum and, you know, so there are moments, they're not rare, but there are moments where I just feel like I don't belong in my body. I don't belong wherever I'm at. I feel like an alien. I feel like I'm failing at everything. I look weird. I'm holding my hands weird. Did I say that strange? You know, did they understand me? Should I say it again? Do I say it louder? You know, all these kinds of feelings. And then I start to doom and I start to think, oh, I'm like the worst human ever. Like, how did I ever even get a body? You know, like, why did they let me manifest? But then I remember, right? And this is what I like to tell myself or remind myself because I know it to be, you know, probably true. And that is, I'm a miracle. And so are you. Every moment that we exist, that we're alive, that we are upright and moving, miracle. The amount of variables it takes to align to not only conceive us, but to keep us going. Wildly, wildly vast. Absolutely a miracle. So I know I belong here. I know you belong here. We're embraced by the celestial, and we are most sacred. We are. I'm laughing because it's cute, it's true, and it's wonderful. Now, Aquarius, I want to tell you I love you. I hope that you know that, because it is true. And I thank you for spending your time here with me. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Other than that, I just want to say again, I love you. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you are, taking your vitamins, your nutrients, and washing your hands. This flu season has been a doozy, I'll tell you what. So anyways, we'll talk soon. Good night. I love you. I love you. I love you.